Morris was doing as opposed to an Asian.
Can we hear the Morris cut again, Greg, just now that we add a little more to it?
Now what do you do with Shohei Ohtani? You better careful.
So to you, that sounds like more of...
I can see either side. I mean, look, when you deal with, the Asian accent or, making fun of it or whatever, there's the RL, so did Jack use Veli instead of very, or did he use Vetti with a D like Artie Johnson did?
I think the optics of a Japanese baseball player coming up is what really cast this.
Of course.
And what I would tell you is I don't think Jack should lose his job or anything like that. I think the apology was more than enough in my mind. But to your point, Stoney, I'm not Asian, you're not Asian.
Right.
But I looked at it and said, yeah, it's probably in poor taste. I don't think he meant anything negative by it, and he was able to apologize within the same game to clear it up.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Jack Morris, obviously it was a different time period, but he said worse. Remember that female sports writer from the Free Press back in the day said something really, really poor manners sexually, and Bo Schembechler blamed the Free Press for sending in the female. Look, personally, 485-399-9797. Do you think his apology was enough? I personally do, but then again, I'm an old school guy. I'm appalled that films like Blazing Saddles and even old school probably can't even be made today. Things that are on the border, All in the Family, some of the great entertainment products of our time can't be made today because we're afraid that it might, and could, insult people. Even comedy, to me, if you insult, comedians, I think, should have
a little more leeway.
Special dispensation. That's their job.
I think Jim got it right here in terms of, come on, the coincidence of it being Ohtani coming up,
right,
makes me think that it was intended to be an Asian accent, but I don't think he was trying to be malicious and doing it either. And but like you said, Stoney, it's the times we live in.
Yeah.
The cancel culture, attitude out there on everything. It's like,
we talked in the break.
Smarter than that.
And we talked in the break about the stuff we used to be able to say on the air back in the old days. And it's amazing that we can't say certain things now that we could back then, but we have to understand that and basically edit ourselves from doing our jobs. And believe me, for somebody who slips up a lot, it's not as easy as you think.
Well, and I think too, Stoney, you could talk to this. I mean, you're trying to be funny. I think he maybe was trying to get a laugh or trying to be interesting, and I think he took it, even by his own admission,
the
wrong way. He shouldn't have gone in that direction.
Yeah, the fact that it was Ohtani is what you're right. Links everything together.
The ticket text, by the way, is split on this. Some people saying sounds like an Elmer Fudd thing. Some people saying, "Are you kidding me?" Of course, that's an Asian baseball player. He was mocking Asians with the comment, so we're seeing it both ways on the ticket text.
Me listening to, I don't hear their Elmer Fudd thing. I hear an attempt at an Asian accent.
Let's go to Sean and Linden. You're a 97 on the ticket. Oh, Sean's gone.
Okay. We have a couple more calls I do want to get into on this before we get into the birthday party, the birthday that gets ruined, getting fired on your birthday. We'll talk about a Lions all-timer, according to ownership.
You probably don't remember what he was called when he was a player.
I can't wait for that history lesson. Let's go to
In the 60s.
No. It was back in 1948. The war was just wrapping up. Ken in Clinton Township, you're on 97.1.
Hey guys, love the show.
Thanks.
Yeah, I was hoping you weren't going to talk about this because you shouldn't be insane. But it's just a shame that you apologize and I thought it was fine. And it's just a shame that the world we live in, if anything happens to him, I'm sure the people that will do whatever they do to him have done way worse than what he did. And I don't know why every time you open your mouth and say something wrong, make a mistake,
even know if he'll miss a game, to be honest with you.
Well, maybe today because Ohtani's pitching.
Day, right? I mean, you're not going to allow one
right.
or...
Exactly. He apologized. You know, and then we go through the deal, Ken, where you have to sit there and analyze the apology.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know what? I'm backing on social media and all that stuff just because of that. I mean, it's, you know, if the world's changing, it's not for in a good way either, unfortunately.
I tend to agree with you when it comes to that kind of stuff. Humor is king. I love humor. All right. Hey, there's nothing like a soccer ball finding the back of the net. And with BetMGM, you can win $100 when a goal is scored. You heard right. Sign up for the BetMGM app using the code STONY100. And for your first wager, there's $1 money line bet on Chicago or Inter Miami. Oh, love those squads. You'll get $100 in free bets if either team records a goal. The opportunities to score big this season don't stop there. Try BetMGM's one-game parlay feature to make selections within a single MLS game, including team and player props. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use the bonus code STONY100 to win $100 when you bet on Chicago or Inter Miami. Either team scores a goal. Bet fearlessly. Dozens of sports at BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. New customer offer. Paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 or over. Michigan only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Metro Detroit Buick GMC dealers. In Monroe County, Telegraph is still closed both directions at Erie Road due to a road accident. You can use Dixie Highway 75. 275 traffic is starting to build in the work zone between South Huron Road and 94. And then 94 eastbound, there's a left lane closure for construction from East Grand Boulevard to Van Dyke until late September. I'm Michelle Penny up with traffic.
Radio.com is now Odyssey. Download the Odyssey app and listen to 97.1 The Ticket and all the sports, news, music, and podcasts that move you. Don't miss out on a very special appearance of the world's first all-electric super truck with the GMC Hummer EV. Not only will we have this vehicle on site, but you can check out the entire vehicle lineup from Buick GMC. Join us for the biggest party on Woodward at Nicky D's.
Starting route to Walnut Lake Road.
This is Zach Gelb with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Yesterday, Joel Embiid signed a 4-year contract extension worth $196 million. This deal will keep Joel in Philly through the 2026-2027 season. The Sixers have committed financially to their best player, but now they must put him in a position to win it all. And don't be misled by the Sixers' regular season success, because this team, even with being the number 1 seed in the East last year, still showed there's a lot of work to do. If Philly wants to get Embiid a ring, then they must trade Ben Simmons. At this point, I think everyone knows Ben's time in Philly is coming to a close, but they need to get a significant piece back for him. Philly should be doing all they can to try to land either Bradley Beal or Damian Lillard. Beal doesn't seem likely, but Lillard could be a possibility. The Sixers need a closer. Lillard would be that. But until they find a star guard who can shoot come crunch time, they'll be wasting Embiid's championship window. Get moving, Daryl Morey. I'm Zach Gelb.
A child's body temperature rises 3 to 5 times faster than an adult's, and leaving a child in a hot vehicle can lead to their death very quickly. Tragically, in 2020, 24 children died of pediatric vehicular heat stroke, and many of these incidents occurred when parents or caregivers simply forgot the child was in the car. Please set yourself reminders on your cell phone or place something you'll need in the back seat so you don't forget your child. Always look for your baby before you lock. Paid for by NHTSA.
For the ones going above and beyond. For the ones reaching out, helping out, and lending a hand. For the ones people count on. You can count on Grainger. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Backed by 24/7 customer support and specialists to help with hard-to-find products. Because you've got everyone's back. We've got yours. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger. For the ones who get it done.
Applied Imaging is more than an office technology and solutions company. Listen to Applied Imaging's customers discuss Applied Imaging's unique culture. Gene Sapolsky of Hinton Transportation Investments.
Our experience with Applied Imaging has been phenomenal. Any work they've done for us has been completed correctly. It
premier RV partner and the destination for RV shoppers. We carry over 100 top brands of travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes at our super centers, and new RVs are arriving daily. Our experts can help with all your needs, from sales and financing to parts and service. Plus, we'll get you on the road with confidence. Shop our growing selection of family-friendly travel trailers, spacious fifth wheels, and luxury motorhomes to begin your RV adventure now at General RV in Wixom, Clarkston, Brownstown, and Mount Clemens.
See the PGA Tour Champions' finest at the Allied Challenge, presented by McLaren, August 27th through the 29th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc, including Little Big Town, live in concert after Saturday's round. For tickets, visit thealliedchallenge.com. Crack a cold one and get game day ready with all your country favorites. Tailgate Crashers, the new Odyssey exclusive station. Get it on the Odyssey app today. Text the ticket now. Ticket text 248-539-9797. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
97.1. Good morning, everybody. Jim Costa, Stoney and Jansen show. Stoney sitting across from me. We got Greg, Gov, Heather.
We'll hear from Heather coming up at the 7 o'clock hour.
Yes.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Heather.
Hey. How's it going?
Good morning.
Oh, good. You had so much to drink last night at the game.
Yeah.
You just, you just partied your ass off.
Partied hard.
I know.
Glad I could make it.
Yes. All right. We'll hear from Heather and her news coming up around 7:50, 7:18 exactly.
Stoney,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had a rotten birthday over the, 80 or so that you've had.
Yeah.
Oh,
boy.
But Don
I
Muhlbach,
think Costa's age stuff, Gov, is going to overpass Jamie's rich Stoney old bits.
No, but I mean, it couldn't have been the only one that realized yesterday the irony. And Don Muhlbach, who gets released by the Lions on his 40th birthday.
40th birthday. And they sent out, I think the Lions actually sent out their pictures of his locker, with they put a 40 up on it and things like that.
You think I'm out of line with the jokes. They gave him a rocking chair yesterday for his birthday. Some of his teammates did.
Yes, I know.
They're having fun with him.
Exactly. And then you find out hours later it gets cut. Now, I know they had to get down to a certain limit.
85 was the number as of the deadline yesterday.
I'm not going to sit there and say, well, they should have waited a week because of his birthday. No, I'm not like that, but it's just...
It is bizarre to release him, call him a Lions legend.
Well, yeah, Sheila is, one of the greatest Lions of all time. Maybe that just says enough. That's Lions football. Long snapper, one of the greatest Lions. And look, I love Don Muhlbach. Long, listener to this radio station, this program. He always had a great relationship with Tony Ortiz, and us loved seeing him in the locker room, and he's a great guy. And I'm like, I was actually, I think at the Tiger game, I said, are you kidding me? Why would they? I mean, is his snap times down?
Is his skill set diminishing at this point?
I have no idea. It's so funny. He is, maybe he's all right. The stench is gone. The last remaining person from the Matt Millen era is gone.
Yeah, but then you realize Dan Campbell was part of the Millen era. He played on that 0-16 football team. In fact, he was a teammate of Don Muhlbach.
How hard would that have had to be for Dan Campbell?
Say, hey, I'm the one that puts an end to your Lions career.
I remember when they got Don Muhlbach, I think another long snapper was hurt or something, and Matt Millen said, we just got the Nolan Ryan of long snappers because he snapped them off. And he was great. There's no doubt about it. He was phenomenal. And for a long time, second most games in Lions history, only behind Jason Hansen. Some of the tweets I saw from former teammates were incredible, like Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, Kerryon Johnson, call him the GOAT. And then, by the way, Kerryon Johnson got waived, injured, injured.
That guy can't stay healthy.
No, I know. Well, first of all, let's hear what Dan Campbell had to say on why they were cutting down Muhlbach.
Dave, I really think that just the best way to put it was time. It's time. Look, I told those guys out there, as weird as this may sound, this doesn't mean that he was beaten out. Daly's here, and he's still got to compete for a job. And And he knows that, as does everybody else on this roster. But it was time. And, like I say, man, I wish him the best, he and his family. And he's a stud. And I hate that we had to be the ones to do this.
He said he wasn't necessarily beat out for the job. I mean, what else goes into this, right? I mean, he could continue to long snap until he's deep into his 40s if he's not missing any snaps, right?
I mean, maybe more years you play, your contract goes up a little bit, even if you are getting the.
Yeah, but they're not up against the salary cap this year. They got like $18 million they're sitting on.
I don't understand. Maybe he was.
And it's one of those deals where I don't want to get all hellfire and brimstone over a long snapper. I don't want to make the comparison. This is how they treat their legends. They cut them on their birthday. I don't want
maybe this is why Bob Quinn drafted a long snapper a few years ago. Remember
he was
that?
on to something.
Jimmy Landis.
Remember that guy?
Yeah, he was a 6th-round pick out of it. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And now they got somebody in camp, and you just wait, because if that guy misses a snap this year,
they got to keep going. The mule's got to get ready to be called
keep
back.
him limber.
Yeah.
Keep him ready.
He's going to keep his helmet and his phone just like John Jansen.
That's right.
Greg, you were perplexed by this, too. This was kind of a weird story yesterday.
A little bit. It's just, hey, look, the fact is, they do need a long snapper now. And was it just, I don't know how much of the salary cap implications there could possibly be for a long snapper for a guy who's historically been on 1-year veteran minimum deals.
Right.
I was a little perplexed by it.
What does he mean by it's time? In other words, hey...
That's pretty nebulous.
Don, I finished my career. I've moved on. I've coached. I'm now a head coach, and you're still here? I'm going to do you a favor and let you move on with your life? I mean, is that what he meant by it? I don't know.
I don't know. 2 Pro Bowls. He was a really good player. I mean, come on. I don't know.
It's one of those deals where, he's a long snapper.
Right. We're not going to sit there and, oh, my God. How the hell can they cut Don Muhlbach? I'm not going to go there.
They've ruined the culture already, Stoney. He hasn't even coached a regular season game.
As Liam Neeson would say,
I'm just being...
As Liam Neeson would say, he does have a particular set of skills. And skills last you long in sports. If you have a particular skill, it can last you a while.
Yeah.
Stoney, have you ever, I opened with this, but have you ever had a bad birthday? Because I imagine this is the worst birthday he's ever had. He's a Lion lifer. He's getting celebrated by his teammates.
Exactly.
That's put him out of his misery.
I think that years ago, I was covering the Rose Bowl. This is before I was married. And I had a girlfriend, and it just wasn't going very well. And I was in California, and she was here, and it was just a miserable experience.
At the next light,
and
turn
just,
left.
fighting on the. That was one of my worst birthdays.
Nothing jumps to Heather, have you had a bad birthday?
No, never. I don't think so. I think all my birthdays have been pretty great.
You never been fired on your birthday, Gov?
Nah. That's coincidental. I mean,
I
know. A number right now,
right?
And I think some of that stuff gets overblown sometimes. There's never a good time to do anything. It's kind of like the whole, you get the firings in December.
Right around Christmas time.
It's never a good time to get fired, is it? I think we've all been fired here. I'm not sure about Heather, but I know the rest of us have.
Yeah.
I've never been fired.
But I'm with Greg. I just find it. The time was now, is what Campbell said. But why?
Yeah.
Why is now? I mean, he was a good long snapper last year.
Yeah.
They need one. I mean,
the guy they signed as the free agent, the Daly guy, is he that much better? But he said he hasn't beaten him. I don't know.
If you got thoughts on Don Muhlbach getting cut, if you want to give a birthday story that was horrific or just a bad birthday, 248-539-9797. Coming up next, a great Detroit sports what if, and the players still can't let it go. We'll play the audio next, 97.1.
WX1T FM and WX1T HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1.
1.9 miles. Turn left onto West
Blowout
12
at
Mile Road.
Comerica Park, but not until the 9th inning. The Angels scoring 6 runs in the final frame to break a 2-2 tie in a very competitive ball game against the Tigers. 5 of those runs charged to Gregory Soto, giving up a grand slam to LA prospect Joe Adell. 8-2 would be the final. RBIs for Jonathan Scope and Robbie Grossman. The Detroit bullpen not giving up a run in 4 innings before the Angels broke it open at the end. Also an apology from an all-time great Tiger, Hall of Famer Jack Morris, who does analysis on the team's TV broadcast.
using an Asian accent in jest during a Shohei Ohtani at-bat in the 6th inning. He would give his sincere apologies during the 9th near the end of the broadcast. After 260 career games, Lions long snapper Don Muhlbach officially parting ways with Detroit football and will not be on the team for the first time since 2004 when he was added as an undrafted specialist out of Texas A&M. Here's head coach Dan Campbell.
Dude's a pro. He's an even better person. You know, he meant a lot to this organization, always will. He's always represented it well. He was an outstanding teammate. He was always locked in. Man of his word.
Only Jason Hansen has played more games for the team in franchise history. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Text to 248-539-9797. This one says, of all the Jason Hansen missed field goals, how many were due to a bad snap? I love the mule. And this one says, guys, for years, Don Muhlbach was the first cut I would make on any Madden franchise over the years. I don't know. I mean, maybe he'll retire tomorrow, and this was all just a financial move.
Procedural.
This one says, guys, I had my second vasectomy on my birthday. Ooh. Talking about birthday experience.
Yeah. Starting route to 8332 West Data Drive.
They're not 100% people.
In 3/4 of a mile.
Maybe he had the first one
Kind of like the vaccine.
And then this ticket text that will end on it says, man, Campbell sounds like he's explaining why he had to put down the family dog.
Oh, the mule.
Aw. He's like, I'm sorry, it was just time. It's nothing he did wrong. We love him so much, and we'll always have the memories.
Yes. We'll get another one.
We'll have to find another one, but he can't replace the spot in our hearts.
Hopefully he won't be deaf like my replacement dog.
Stoney, I don't know if you saw what Carmelo Anthony said yesterday, but it's one of those great Detroit sports what ifs.
And nobody loves what ifs more than me.
Well, then you're the king of this topic because while people here in town may have never let it go, the thought that if he's here, do they win more than one championship? Carmelo also feels the same way. This is Carmelo Anthony's thoughts on that draft.
Like, to this day, I still think about that.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah. Because I'm like, they promised me. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we taking you. We taking you. I'm talking all the way up to draft day. You understand? We taking you. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to Detroit.
6.2 miles.
Take
exit 14C onto M39 and Southfield Freeway.
She came in the middle of the year. I mean, she got traded.
That's right.
And that's what really put them over the top. But they was like, yo, you can share time with that with Tayshaun. I'm like, cool. Like, I ain't, I'm gonna come and do my thing, but I don't know how long I'm gonna share time with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just coming and do my thing. And then they won it. I'm like, oh, my luck. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm there, I think they win another one.
I think so too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't jump out there and say we 3 people, but I think we go back to back if I'm there. Because that second year for me, I would have learned from those guys. They was all vets, and I would have learned from those guys in the way that second year coming back, I'd have been a totally different player coming back.
That was Carmelo Anthony, All the Smoke podcast. Stoney, he says he was promised
that. I never heard before.
I never heard that either.
Never heard. It seemed it was going to be Darko all the way.
Right.
If I remember correctly. It's funny because he says they would have won 2. It also goes into the whole what if category under that premise. There are people who swear, now there's no proof, we can never prove this, that if they would have drafted Carmelo Anthony, even though there's something that doesn't make sense because of different positions, whatever, so the Rasheed Wallace trade would never have occurred because Boston, who had the facilitator, the middleman between Atlanta and the Pistons at the time, would never have agreed to do that. Also, they came pretty damn close to going back-to-back anyway. If Rasheed doesn't...
It closes out on Big Shot Bob in the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's a different world.
Now, there are those who believe that they would have won multiple titles, and, who knows? Here's the other thing. We have no idea, I can't believe we're still talking about this, but this is new information, everything was promised. There's no guarantee, because
for a championship in 2006.
Well,
07
was.
I mean, when LeBron dropped.
Carmelo wouldn't have been LeBron style.
No, but it would have been one of those. Can you just keep up? As he's making big shots, can you answer with big shots?
They did answer with big shots. They just couldn't stop him really down the stretch.
I'm sure you've done this topic a million times. But where do you land? Are you more like Bill Wallace or more like Carmelo Chauncey?
I think they would have won.
Well, they're too good not to win one time.
But they were, we saw their personalities and their egos get pretty fragile. I mean, Ben Wallace leaving, because he didn't like, just ask Flip, remember all that stuff? I mean, they loved, they didn't like Carlisle so much. They got Brown, they loved them, and then people forget. As much as they love Larry Brown, being, that locker room, in the first practice, and Rip Hamilton telling me and everybody, God, our offense is so free-flowing. They loved the way Flip coached offensively. And then you had Ben and Rashid, the problem with that team was Flip, may rest in peace, would never discipline. It was just let them do whatever the hell they wanted to do. And then they got players, then they had Michael Curry. And
there's that mutiny. Yeah,
not discipline. And they haven't been the same since. They haven't won a playoff game since.
With Carmelo Anthony, the way I looked at it is, I think he would have brought a thing that they didn't have, which is a guy who could get big buckets in big moments, and he did it at Syracuse. That would have been his MO coming in, and he would have. I think we're a lot of product of our environment and how we grow up and the people around us, and I think if you grow up in the NBA, so to speak, with Ben Wallace, with Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Larry Brown, I feel like he would have been, because everybody says the player Carmelo is right now or was for his career wouldn't have worked in Detroit, and I agree.
Right.
The one-dimensional me, ISO scorer, don't play defense would not have helped the Pistons.
Exactly.
But would Carmelo have become a different basketball player? I think so. I think he would have been a different basketball player if the Pistons had
It all would have mattered just how him and Brown meshed.
Yes.
And how Brown have held it against him when he's a rookie and used him the way Larry Brown would have had to overplay Carmelo Anthony as a rookie in terms of how he's comfortable as a coach. You see what I'm saying?
Tom, do you think they still trade for Rasheed Wallace? Because that's the only other guy.
They would have wanted to, whether they would have.
Look, if a lot of things are similar, in that regular season, and you have Carmelo on your roster, I think they would have made the attempt to.
Oh yeah, I think so. No doubt they would have made the attempt.
Because the Brown connection to UNC and Rasheed, I think, is what got that done and got Rasheed to buy in.
Yes.
And made Joe willing to go and get him. I don't know if you're going to. Rasheed at that time was volatile, and it took the right circumstance for him to step in, and I still think that would have been the right circumstance. But you guys, I think the big thing here is I really kind of hit me this morning. They had a window there, and I think Carmelo would. I don't think the window would have changed. The window was 04 to 07. LeBron's 48.
Yeah,
it changed it. That's when the torch was passed. And at that point, it became LeBron's conference other than the Big Three in Boston.
Right, although if you think about it, you mentioned the Big Three in 08. I mean, that was a pretty good series for a while, and then the Pistons fell apart. So,
look at Carmelo and Chauncey in Denver for a little bit, though. It's like those two had some chemistry later. I mean, they could have extended the window. I don't think they would have been from Eastern Conference Finals to not even a playoff team. Carmelo keeps you in the hunt longer and lets you continue to take shots at it.
I mean, I don't know if Carmelo helps them win. Let's say everything's the same. Win the 2005 finals. I don't.
You don't think he would have been sprinting to close out the corner?
Well, I think it would have been the same circumstance, to be honest. And so, and then I think the miss there was maybe it would have been 06. Maybe that's where Carmelo would have made the difference. When I think the Pistons were the 1 seed, right, Stoney?
Yes.
And isn't that the guarantee you made?
Yeah, I think so.
So the Pistons ended up losing to the Shaq and Dwayne Wade in the East Finals, and Stoney famously, when the Pistons went down there and won in early April, proclaimed, "There's no way the Miami Heat will."
Miami Heat are dead.
Yeah. I think, but you guys see what I'm saying? That's the third year of Carmelo, seasoned with Flip. Maybe he would have been the difference there.
Well, it's interesting because Jim brought up the other, what if with when they lost to the Heat in 06. What if in 05 Dwayne Wade doesn't get hurt? Maybe Pistons don't even get to the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I mean, I always think this with the Pistons. I'm not going to, with this Carmelo thing, I'm never going to say, oh, man, there was more left on the table. I'm not quite sure. I thought the Pistons were quite fortunate to get one. I mean, remember New Jersey in Game 6 in the 04 East semis?
Yes.
Rip hit that
shot by Rip was...
They were lucky to win that series, I thought.
And then they killed him in Game 7.
Turn right onto West Adder
Hey,
Drive.
it was a tough grind, but they were one of those, obviously they were in the Final Four 6 straight years.
I'll take the one and the ride and be happy with it versus if let's throw him in and redo it. I'm not so sure that you get one.
It's that one of those Detroit sports what ifs that never goes away. The new piece of information he revealed that allegedly he was promised.
See, that to me is fascinating. I'd love
is on your right. 8332 West Adder Drive.
Or even say if that's true or not true.
Coming up next, we've got Heather with the news. Heather, what do you got?
Yeah, well, I've got some more information on that Alex Brown car crash that we've got to dive into. Plus, we have to discuss the reason why Jack Morris apologized during last night's game.
It's coming up next, 97.1.
All right, you guys, if you're a sports betting fan, one of the greatest times of the year is almost here. You know what that is. It is football season, with the regular season kicking off in just a few weeks. Let's start getting some pro football futures bets in with my friends over at BetRivers Sportsbook. Right now, BetRivers is offering you 25% profit boosts on any pro football futures bet.